it's your girl Evie coming back to you again today with a Law and Order SVU. And this one was pretty into it. I mean, I knew eventually that Olivia was going to find out what happened to her brother. I mean, it ended so sadly. Simon died, and she assumed it was a drug overdose. You know, he was in recovery, and a lot happened in this episode. Let me unpack it. We're going to go through how did it start, what happened, who did it, why, and how did it end. So, how did it start? It started with two girls in a bar and a millionaire. They got him drunk, they got him high, they took him back, they rolled him. And that is the name of this particular episode. Trick rolled at the Moulin. So these girls were working him, this millionaire guy. Not only him, but they were working other guys, doctors, lawyers, big time millionaires, etc. The trick was they take this guy to the bar, then they meet up with a girlfriend. He gets interested in the girlfriend. They take him back to a hotel. They get him high, even higher than he was before he left the bar. And then they take his PIN number and they get his money, and basically they roll him. But this time they rolled, I won't say the wrong guy, but they rolled this guy and he died. He died of an overdose. So in comes Liv, in comes Finn. They want to find out why this guy died, you know, and where he died. So this guy died at this particular hotel called the Moulin. And actually the first guy didn't, but the second guy that died did. No, let me get into that. So what happened? We know what happened. We know that this millionaire guy died of a drug overdose. But how does that tie into Simon though? Well, not only did he die, but the second guy that these girls got with, died also. This time though, he died at the Hotel Moulin, where Simon was found dead, who is Olivia's brother. So that's what happened. So, but who did it? When I was talking about these girls, there are three of them. Jade, an Asian, and then there's Despina, an African-American girl, and then there is Piper, who is a white girl. And they work this, I guess they're a team, and they work these guys because, of course, they want to get away with this money. Anyway, this episode, I'm telling you, Law and Order will do it to you every time. Like SVU will get you every time. Like this episode, I was like, not only did they have this whole scheme and pushing this purple magic, which is the drug that Warner found out that they were using to get these guys high. It's a street drug. And where do we know that street drug from? Maybe Law and Order organized crime? Well, because they had this street drug on the street and Warner said, you might want to go contact somebody on organized crime side, then we see Stabler brought in. But before that, Olivia had already talked to him. She listened to his message, remember? Because he was like, you know, Kathy was the target. And she listened to his message. She tried to call him back. He didn't answer, went to voicemail. Eventually, she met up with him and they discussed it briefly. And she said, you know what? You need to get some rest. You need to go home. You need to stop all this. It's not your case, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, I hear you, but. Anyway, when we get to the case about Simon, and she kind of figures out that these girls might be the girls that actually killed her brother, she brings in Stabler and she says, look, who is doing this? And we get to who did it. It wasn't just these three girls who did it. The purple magic didn't come out of nowhere. We know Richard Wheatley is running a legitimate company, which is producing oxycodone, and in that he is also putting out this purple magic on the street. Well, lots of people want to get a hold of this purple magic because not only is it a very powerful drug that's cut with fentanyl, which we know some drug abusers use, it also has had heroin in the past, which other drug users use. So anyway, why? Why is all this going on? Well, we know why. because Richard Wheatley is all about the money. He don't care about nothing and nobody. And we know that in this particular instance, Simon got caught up in all of this mess. And that's unfortunate because this was a year and a half prior to Stabler even being back. You know what I'm saying? So he hadn't even known anything about Richard, the purple magic, or anything. And all this time, Olivia thought that that message that she left her brother was the last thing that he saw or last thing that he heard from her. And it was rather disappointing because she told him, she said, you know, basically, since you missed us at this lunch and you didn't appear, just don't call me. Just don't call me ever. And I knew that was bothering her because it was bothering me. I was like, you know, sometimes we say things and we just can't take them back, especially when we leave somebody a message, unless we can erase their phone. In this case, she couldn't. By the time that she found out that he hadn't really heard that message, he'd been dead for over a year, and she was grieving him. So we know why. We know how it started. We know what happened. We know who did it, and we know why. But how did it end? Well, through these different girls, Jade especially, she has a daughter. And a daughter that she has with Felix. Felix is the girls' driver. So not only do they have a plan, not only do they roll these guys, they have a driver. The driver supplies them with the drugs. He gets the drugs from someone else. We know the drugs originate with Richard Wheatley. So they bring in Felix, the father of her child, who she rolls on because they're pressuring her and saying, look, your daughter's going to go in the system. Nobody cares about your daughter but you, you know, so you're not getting out of here, but your daughter could. You know, she's a little girl, give her a chance. So they bring in Felix. They get him to basically roll on the people that he's getting his supply from. But that doesn't turn out too great for him. Because he goes back to the people, he's wearing the wire, he's talking to the people that he's got this purple magic from, and they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. Thanks for the tip, you know. We don't know what you're talking about, but you got to get out of here. So he gets out. We see that Olivia and Stabler are in the car together, and they're at the stakeout. So is Finn, so is Kat. They're at the stakeout in another car, and they're watching this guy, Felix. He comes out. He starts walking down the street. He is encountered by people on bicycles with masks on. Not just masks, but like their whole face pretty much is covered, so people can't really see who they are, you know. So he starts walking the other way because these people are coming toward him, and so he starts walking away from them. That doesn't work. These people on bicycles, they end up taking him out. They shoot him right in the head. And not just that, but Olivia and them are in the car, and they're like, look, something's going down. We got to get him out of here. And then all of a sudden, we hear it. Shots fired. So they're shooting at Olivia, at Stabler, in the car. And the last thing that we see before we cue the music is them passed out on the dash. Like leaning up against the dash, all this broken glass, and the glass, the bullet is like right there where Stabler's head is. So I am in shock, like I'm shook, like what's gonna happen? Like, is he dead? You know, like is he dead for real? I mean, he just got back. Like, I need him to not be dead. And Olivia, you know, what about Noah? You know, Olivia's the mom. She's a mom now. Noah needs his mom. So I'm going to go into Law and Order Organized Crime, and we're going to cover what happened since then. But you guys, this episode kept me jumping. If you like the content from today and you love the content from Law and Order SVU, I'm going to be covering it along with Law and Order Organized Crime. You guys feel free to stop back because your girl is always going to have the who, what, when, why, how, and the know about what's going on with Law and Order SVU. Go ahead and give me a like, you guys. Make some comments. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know when I'm coming back to you. All right, gonna go ahead and head over to Law and Organized Crime now. You guys, come on through. Love ya.